Hey, let's talk about the best and worst events in Genshin Impact for the first year, but also let's talk about the story events too, all in one. Oh, by the way, this is the Annual Genshin... This is the Annual Genshin Award. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the non-story events. I'm going to do so fairly quickly because they're not super substantive. Also, this will obviously contain event spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just go watch my incredibly huge video that summarizes them all. Okay, cool. Let's begin. Let's start with the third worst event in Genshin Impact's first year. Anybody remember Contending Tides? No? Yeah, I barely do too. What was I talking about? Anal? Contending Tides isn't awful, but I'm not really sure what it's trying to do. It's supposed to be an arena fighter where you're incentivized to use certain strategies to win, but it's never difficult, and they make it that way seemingly on purpose, which is again confusing. What is the point of this? And that's why it's so bad. It doesn't feel like there is one. And it was even brought back? Why? Well, I give it the Bronze Award. That's it. It's so boring it doesn't get any other moniker. Next we have the Lost Riches event and all of its copies. Wow, is this event just busy work to the max? All you do is run around and press a button to hopefully find what the game wants you to. It's always boring and never interesting. I mean, yes, it was cool to get the first pet in the game, a Sealy, but like look at it. They're very clearly more boring than the other two pets. So this event gets the Silver Sealy Award. Okay, I touched it. Now go away and never come back. Oh, I unlocked a chest. Before the worst, let's do some lead up with the best. The third best event in the first year was Windtrace. For those of you who watched the last video, you may be like, Maverick, but you said the co-op in this game was bad and that you hated 1.4 because of it. Well, yeah, I do. And I also hate you asking questions. Fuck off. I hate when this game purely focuses on co-op for like 6 weeks, because the game never really cares otherwise. But Windtrace is the one co-op event that really works, and it was the one time that it seemed like they cared and it worked. I'm still utterly confused why Windtrace isn't permanent though, and I'm sure everyone would like it and play it a lot if it was, but regardless, it's coming back for 2.4, which is awesome. The fact that tall and short characters have their own cost benefits, like being better at hiding versus being better at running, and the fact that both hiding and seeking is actually fun, I'm gonna say that this is the third best event in the first year, and because of that, it gets the Bronze Rebel Award. Wait, where'd it go? The second best event is the Legend of the Vagabond / Hypostatic Symphony event. They're really similar, so I'm just going to mention both. They have something that Genshin has seemingly ignored for permanent content, but is a genius idea, and that's the different restrictions that you can add and how that affects the difficulty. To this day, these events are by far the most challenging ones that Genshin has had, and challenging in a really great way. Testing your team against ridiculously strong enemies is, surprise, super fun and engaging, and makes you really want to develop your team more. Yeah, the rewards for playing on super duper hard aren't the best, but it's definitely a start, right, Genshin? You're gonna have the restrictions in a new permanent in-game mode, right? Right? So, the Legend of the Vagabond, blah blah blah, gets the Silver Masochism Award. Oh yeah, hit me harder. Now, the worst event of the year is probably one that you absolutely forgot about. Or well, I hope that you did. It was the Hapastum bomb event. Good lord, was this event janky as hell, unfun, and kind of pointless. If you actually don't remember, the event has you equipping different types of bombs for different occasions. But for equipping, I mean going into your inventory and equipping a different one each time. So yes, this event had you constantly opening up your inventory to change bombs, and you absolutely had to use the bombs because the enemies were way too strong to fight without using them, so they were super spongy. For PlayStation, this resulted in having to do the weirdest sequences of buttons to just throw one bomb, and it was a whole damn mess. So this event gets the Golden Soul of a Boar Award.
Why did you kill me, Maverick? Why?
I'm sorry. The best event of the year was the Kaboom Ball event. Hell yeah, beach tennis, woo! It was actually the Labyrinth Warriors event, and only because I think this event is so close to being a perfect event. If this event had the restriction multiplier, like the Vagabond and Hypostasis events, then I genuinely think it would be perfect. As it was though, it was really easy, but the idea of exploring different dungeons with special bonuses and exploring different routes is a really great one, and I think with a few more tweaks, it could absolutely become a new endgame mode, and I think the game would incredibly benefit from an inclusion like that. So this event gets the Golden Chipped Award. It's so close to being perfect. So that's it for the non-story events. Overall, I mostly enjoyed the events that Genshin includes, even if sometimes they're not the most well implemented. But now let's talk about those story events. The third worst story event was the Invitation of Windbloom event. Whereas I'm not a huge fan of the Lantern Rite patch itself, the story was okay. It was bloated, like a lot of other Genshin stories, but it was anchored because of its focus on Zhao. Having us come to learn just a little more about him, such as how he really feels about being a Yaksha, was pretty cool and heartfelt. Whereas here, there's no core character, which in theory is fine. Having an ensemble story is actually what I really want Genshin to continue doing as the number of characters increase. The issue is that the plot is about what a flower means to certain cast members, but it doesn't do anything to have us learn anything new about them. So it results in the entire cast here being underutilized, with maybe the exception of Kaya. The fact that he joins a poem writing class is pretty amazing, and okay, I just love his character, alright? So a poorly paced and bloated cast with misused characters absolutely grants this story event the Bronze Windbloom Award. It can be whatever you want. It just means courage. The second worst story event in the first year absolutely has to be the Moonlight Merriment event. Look, I'm just not a fan of this event. The amount of waffling here is absolutely incredible, even by Genshin standards. See, there's something we have to talk about with gacha stories. They often have bloat to artificially lengthen them, but also to space them out because they're released in chunks. But with a MasterChef-esque story like this, with a mystery around a bear, you'd think that there would be enough material there for a decently told story, but no. It's very, very boring with an insane amount of expository dialogue and uninteresting nonsense. The only redeeming factor about the patch is the formulation of a friendship between Keqing and Zhongling. That stuff was alright. Oh, and Cloud Retainer. She's just amazing. So this event gets the Silver Gordon Ramsay Award.
You fucking donkey!
Now, you know the drill already. Onward to the third best event story of the year, which was absolutely the Unreconciled Stars event. The plot is what drives this one. Sure, we get the introduction of Fischl and Oz, who are fun, but they don't get a lot to do or really any development outside of an intro. They also have Mona here, but again, she's used as a means to an end in this story. The interesting thing about this event are the questions that it makes you ask about the story of the world itself. What is Scaramouche doing? What are the Fatui's true aims? What does the false sky even mean? All of this is really interesting, and under it we have a heartfelt story about the creator of the glider and how his aspirations lived on past him. Overall, a fun cast with an interesting plot puts this at 3. So it gets the Bronze Flat Award. Here it is. The second best story event is the Midsummer Island Adventure event. Now, I can see people saying that this story doesn't have a bunch to it, but I think that's the key in this case. Or should I say, that's the key in this case. The plot is just fun and simple. The mystery surrounding a foggy area where people were taken and then you have to go into a TV to save them is awesome. Wait, that's Persona 4. Just play Persona 4. The plot has you uncovering the secrets of a new region, whilst the exploration of said region has the party uncovering the actual place itself. This is also an ensemble cast that is used okay-ish. While they certainly aren't given a ridiculous amount to do, the story isn't wasting our time with pointless meandering like in the festival event. The revelation at the end actually has us learning more about a character, but also about how a new character is characterized. Some people may not like the reveal that the island was repurposed as a sadistic theme park by Klee's mom, but it goes to show her power as well as how much she cares about her daughter, by having her constantly in danger on the water. What a good mom. Also, if we include the shells and the backstory that they give to the islands themselves, this is even better. But regardless, this event gets the Silver Shell Award. Wait, it has a voice in it. What does it say?
Anal?
The time has come for the worst story event of the year, and I'm sure it's something that none of you saw coming, because honestly, I didn't really see it coming either. It's the Tuned to the World's Sounds event. Now, hear me out here. This is a story event. The fucking game locked this event behind finishing the Inazuma story, which I had to rush through to complete this, so I would know. The idea of the event is interesting, if a bit horrendous. If you don't remember, this event gave Kazuha resolution from his whole arc regarding his friend and the actions that he took in Inazuma. In like 2 dialogue scenes? Who thought that this was okay? To lock the resolution of a character behind a limited time event, and behind an event which is really just fucking dance. Meanwhile, this is a character who hasn't even had a character story yet. It has me worried whether Kazuha just got shafted here, and by the time we actually get a real event or a character story with him, we're going to miss all the juicy character growth that we could have had regarding his past friend or what happened with the Vision. So yeah, the event doesn't have much story, and some of you may be thinking that it doesn't count, but I'm putting it here because it was a baby amount of story that shafts a great character with a lot of potential. Also, they could give you an ancient guitar to dance to J-pop beats. Wait, that's Persona 4 dancing. Amazing. So this event gets the Persona 4 Golden Award. It's just the game, and I got it for you on Steam. It's pretty cheap right now, so I mean, you are cute, so. Time for the best story event. I mean, come on. It's Shadows Amidst Snowstorms. Obviously, this event has a fantastic premise. The idea of an imposter albedo trying to trick the group all the while the Adventurers Guild is training newbies on Dragonspine is pretty great. We also have a big cast here, which all get moments to shine and even some cave bonding moments. The event also gives a lot of time to, honestly, the star of Genshin's story, which is Albedo. He has such an interesting plot, and he always has a fun dynamic with the Traveler and Paimon. At this point, with like 1 million events under his belt, Albedo is definitely the best story character in Genshin. The worst thing about this event, though, is that the training on Dragonspine is mostly used as a plot convenience to get characters like Bennett and Amber here, but I think it still works, for the most part. The event also has like 8 endings and like odd use of exposition, but this is Genshin, so what can we expect? I really want more events with a fun, character-centered plot, a large cast of pre-established characters who get things to do in development, and fun situations to put them in, so I really like this event. I think gacha games really only excel at one thing in gaming, and that's their ability to develop a large cast over a long span of time, sort of similar to a TV series. And I think Shadows Amidst Snowstorms is a damn good episode of that series. So this event gets the Golden Albedo Award. Wait, it's an imposter! So that's it. Those are the best and worst events in Genshin's first year. Let me know what yours are in the comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!